Nikola Jokic, the phenomenal center for the Denver Nuggets, is the winner of this year's Most Valuable Player award. Very well deserved. I just want to give a huge congratulations to the Serbian big man who put up eye-catching numbers during the regular season and helped lead his team to the 3rd seed in a competitive Western Conference. The race for MVP was not as close as I thought it would be, with Jokic receiving 91 first-place votes, leaving other competitors in this race in the dust. Trailing behind Jokic at 2nd place is the saucy 76ers center, Joel Embiid, and at 3rd place is the baby-faced assassin, Stephen Curry. All MVP candidates showed out with impressive regular seasons this year. For instance, Curry received this year's scoring title, putting up a whopping total of 2,015 points, and Embiid, who was in his bag all year, led the 76ers to the 1st seed of the Eastern Conference for a redemption season, after getting swept 4-0 in the playoffs last year. I would also like to add that these 3 players averaged career highs in points per game this season, showcasing their outstanding offensive repertoire. For this video, however, I just want to focus on and talk about how crazy talented the MVP winner Nikola Jokic actually is. A center has not been named MVP since the year of 2000, and that's quite a long time. That was the year Shaquille O'Neal became the MVP of the league, and it is until over 20 years later that a center finally grabs hold of the trophy. This shows that the league has recognized a special talent in Nikola Jokic, a talent that can completely revolutionize both the center position and the game of basketball. But before I continue, I would like to quickly thank all you viewers who clicked on this video and are watching, because your viewership is very much appreciated, and I would also appreciate it if you were to smash that like button if you end up enjoying this video, and that you also heavily consider clicking that subscribe button for more videos like this. Otherwise, Giannis Antetokounmpo will have to make a free throw within 10 seconds for your mother's life. Thank you. Let's get started. So what makes Nikola Jokic a revolutionary type of player? I think that he shouldn't just be looked at as another really good player or another really good center, because he is just something else. This guy's skill set is something we have to look closely at and compare them to other centers in the league, past and present. This season was fun to watch, with Jokic playing the best basketball in his career so far. He was able to illuminate the best of his abilities, which was how he was able to catch the eyes of the entire league and name him MVP for this season. For one thing, what stood out to me at first was that Jokic is definitely capable of owning the paint, as a good center should. It's a basic necessity that every basketball team needs, but Jokic is able to do this at a really high level. He is in the top 5 for defensive rating amongst centers in the league. He's not the most athletic being out there, but Jokic still excels at protecting the paint and in rebounding the ball. With a total of 780 rebounds this year, this puts him at 5th place amongst centers. He is just so skilled at utilizing his size and length to his advantage, making him a matchup nightmare for every center in the league. Another outstanding ability of his that he possesses is his scoring ability, which is what great centers do. Jokic can score from all 3 levels, and very few centers in this league are capable of doing this. The first thing to consider in Jokic's offensive skill set is his post game. Whether it be in the low post or in the high post, Jokic is absolutely flawless at getting buckets this way. It's hard to believe how fluid he is able to move his feet down there. A big man with really nice footwork, combined with a bruising physicality, always reminds me of Hakeem Olajuwon. So to compare Jokic's postgame to an NBA great is something truly special. And I can't forget about his jump shot, because he can really let it fly from anywhere on the floor. Jokic has an efficient and fairly consistent shot that makes him a deadly threat along the perimeter. Even if he shoots off the dribble or off the catch, Jokic will most likely sink the jumper on an opposing player. He is ranked at number 4 in 3-point field goal percentage and is ranked at number 10 in field goal percentage amongst all centers in the league. There is no doubt that coaches will drool for a player of Jokic's caliber. And lastly, this ability of Nikola Jokic is one that I consider very rare for centers to possess, and that would be his playmaking ability. Playmaking is primarily a guard's role, so it is seldom for a big man to take responsibility of a team's offense. Jokic is just so elite and exceptional with this skill because his passing and ball handling mirrors that of a guard. It's a skill that Jokic has that a lot of NBA centers cannot reach because the level of his playmaking ability is so polished and well developed. The way that he makes crisp passes in between tight spaces or on lobs makes Jokic a unique type of basketball player. This is probably because of his unselfish gameplay, where he prioritizes getting his teammates involved in the offense for most of the time. This is also why he's averaged about 8 assists per game during the regular season, which are guard-like numbers. Jokic is ranked number 6 in assists per game this season, putting him ahead of guards like Damian Lillard and John Morant, and is ranked number 1 in assists amongst all centers. Jokic has an impressive ball handling ability as well, which is demonstrated when he pushes the ball down the court on a fast break. They're not Kyrie Irving or Stephen Curry type handles, but Jokic has such amazing ball control and finesse for a big man like him. So looking at his overall skill set as a basketball player, there is no doubt that Jokic is super talented. I don't think that there's a center that has a versatile skill set as Jokic does, which is what makes him such a special player. There's no other center in the league right now that can match the level of all his abilities, because he pretty much succeeds at all aspects of basketball. Jokic possesses a variety of abilities that I have not seen at the center position. Right now, I think that the closest player I can compare Nikola Jokic to is probably Miami Heat center Bam Adebayo, who averaged 18, 9, and 5. Bam has a similar skill set as Jokic does, and is capable of scoring and making plays for others on the offensive end, while playing lockdown defense on the other. But as I said, no other center has matched the level of Jokic's abilities, and Bam has not reached that high level of gameplay just yet. The upside is that Bam is just 23 years of age, and is way more athletic than Jokic is. But Jokic is older, smarter, and much more experienced than Bam is right now. Jokic has worked on his overall skill set longer than Bam has, obviously, but the sky's the limit for Bam. As a Heat fan, I can't wait to see the maximum potential that Bam has yet to reach. But anyways, focusing back onto Nikola Jokic, after witnessing his MVP season and looking thoroughly at all of his abilities, I truly begin to appreciate him as a unique talent in the NBA. I would consider that his versatile skill set as a basketball player can be attributed to the European way of playing the game. I think that European players have very sharp fundamental aspects in the game of basketball, which is why they can shoot the ball tremendously well and play basketball in a proper and an unselfish way. And to see well-developed fundamentals in a big man like Nikola Jokic shows how he's able to dominate the center position. This is also why he's able to rack up so many triple-doubles in his career, placing him at number 9 amongst triple-double leaders with 57, and at number 2 amongst all centers in NBA history, with Wilt Chamberlain achieving 78 triple-doubles in his career. Come to think of it, if you compare him to most centers of the past, even the all-time greats, there's almost no one that has the same all-around skill set as Jokic has. And of course, that has to do with the new era of basketball that we are in today. I think that the closest big man from the past that I can compare Nikola Jokic to is a prime Pau Gasol, who averaged 17 points, 9 rebounds, and 3 assists a game. I remember watching his highlights, and he showed flashes of guard-like skills. It was a different era of basketball when he was in his prime, so I don't think that he was able to showcase his playmaking ability to the fullest. If he were to be placed into our current era of basketball, his numbers would probably look different, because most players of today have expanded their game to the perimeter, even big men. For traditional big men in the past, their primary role was to play interior defense and grab rebounds, and occasionally, if the opportunity presents itself, they could go ahead and get themselves a bucket, whether it be from a putback or from backing down their opponents until they had a good look. The game of basketball has evolved over time, and the change was for the betterment because there was always a brand new style of basketball every decade, which helped inspire the next generations of basketball players. The change in the style of play goes for all positions 1 through 5, from the point guard position to the center position. So now that a player like Nikola Jokic has finally picked up both playmaking and scoring abilities from today's game of basketball, along with his natural big man skills, I think that this marks a new era for the center position. Jokic is still only 26 years of age. He is barely in his prime, but he has shown an uptrend in his growth as a basketball player. At this rate, if Nikola Jokic continues to showcase his all-around game, and perhaps become even better than he was in this 2021 NBA season, he will be able to inspire the next generation of big men. I can imagine what would happen if the next generation of big men were to fully develop all the fundamental aspects that a basketball player like Nikola Jokic is capable of. If that ever happens, the pace of a basketball game would be faster than ever, because big men would probably be the ones controlling the pace of the game. I'm not entirely sure of what the future of basketball will bring, but I do know Nikola Jokic has the potential to bring a revolutionary change to the big man position. And that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to give this video a like and to subscribe for more content like this. But for now, stay tuned until next time and have a good one, everybody.